Son Clinton Allen was 10th of last year.
Clinton was my only son. He was 25 years old, he was unarmed, and he was shot by a police officer. And we're encouraging mothers to start naming them, stop protecting them, start naming their officers. So the officer that killed my son, his name is Clark Stoller. He's a Dallas policeman with a troubled history, with excessive force infractions on his record. I called one attempted murder and falsifying a police record to cover that up. Just a very troubled officer who should never have ever have been on the police force. And he basically chased my son down. My son was running from him. He went to a friend's house to retrieve some item, a television that belonged to him, and they had made arrangements for him to get it, and he was late. And by the time he got there, her boyfriend was there. And the boyfriend became irritated, agitated, that Clinton was on the other side with the continual knocking. And so she called the police. And Clinton's misfortune was the policeman that answered that call was a troubled police officer, again, that should have never been on the force. And Clinton's other misfortune is that he was in a certain zip code that we have now identified. It's in every city's have them, but in Dallas we call them the Dallas hunting grounds. And there are certain zip codes that men of color are killed, and cops get total immunity for killing these men in Dallas.
And of course, the officer's account is that he was fought aggressively by your son, that he was forced to discharge his weapon. What's your response?
Well, you know, that all of these officers, including Clark Stoller, have this free get-out-of-jail card. I feared for my life. So, but we have to start asking ourselves questions like, well, when did you stop fearing for your life? Was it after the first shot, the second shot, third shot, fourth shot, fifth shot, the sixth shot, the seventh? You see where I'm going with this? So it's total. We have to be smarter about our families and protecting our families. And we know that Clinton was executed. Something may have happened. We have children that have been executed by policemen for mouthing off, you know.
Why do you think a grand jury didn't indict the officer?
Because grand juries are controlled by district attorneys. And district attorneys are not going to indict the same police officers that they need to help them investigate other cases. So the relationships are too close, and that's nationwide. It's not just in Dallas. In Dallas, it has been 41 years since a police officer has been indicted for shooting and killing an unarmed person. 41 years.
That's unbelievable. You've talked about how the fraternal order of police is a big problem when it comes to this immunization of cops. I wanted you to elaborate on that.
If you ever read the fraternal order of police, the document, it is that. It's a fraternity that protects its members. You will lose sleep when you read it. Policeman Bill of Rights. They have way more rights than we do. And so now we have to unring that bell, because while we were sleeping and thinking that all policemen serve and protect, and surely no policeman would just kill our children, you know. And so now that we know that this is not conjecture, the world has seen that grand juries will not indict policemen, and they have sent a message to us loud and clear. No matter what we see, or no matter how egregious the crimes are, they're not going to do it. So we need legislation, and we need training, and we need a police brutality division in the Justice Department.
And how is the work that you're doing on the Hill this week going? Because I know that you're with the group Mothers Against Police Brutality. We have about a minute left, but talk about this work and what real reform needs to look like.
Absolutely. First of all, we need a police brutality division with the Justice Department. The Justice Department doesn't have enough muscle. The police unions are stronger than the Justice Department at this time, and that needs to be reformed. Secondly, police officers need to be randomly drug tested. We know that police officers are human. They have problems. They're on medication. They shouldn't have machinery and guns. And so whenever there's a police shooting, we need their blood. Whether it's fatal or non-fatal, we should be blood testing them. I'm getting on a plane tomorrow going home, and I bet you that pilot has been blood tested.
Yeah, they're human beings just like us, and they're not infallible, Colette. Thank you so much for bringing attention to this issue and for fighting for justice for your son.
Thank you.